Let me tell you about a fella I once knew. His name was George. And George, he wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Nah, he started out mopping floors at a big old television studio. Every single night he'd be pushing that mop, cleaning up after folks who were living the life he dreamed about. He saw the big-time producers. He saw the famous hosts. He saw the writers with their fancy ideas. And while he was cleaning, he wasn't just thinking about getting the floor shiny. He was watching. He was learning. He was dreaming. He saw himself not with a mop in his hand, but with a microphone. Most folks in his shoes would have just kept their head down. They'd have said, "Well, this is my lot in life. I'm a janitor. That's all I'll ever be." Now, what George had was something powerful. It's the first ingredient in the recipe for success. It's belief. I'm talking about that deep-down, rock-solid faith in yourself. See, your mind is like a movie projector. If the film you're playing is full of doubt, failure, and fear, that's the movie you're going to see on the big screen of your life. You'll see all the reasons why you can't, why you shouldn't, why it won't work. You'll focus on the closed doors and ignore the one that's creaked open just for you. Your belief system creates your reality. If you believe you're small, you will act small, and you will get small results. It's just that simple. But if you change that film, if you start playing a movie about victory, all right, let's talk about the enemy, the #1 dream killer on the planet. I call it excusitis. It's the disease of making excuses. That little voice of doubt is its #1 salesperson. It's that voice that whispers, "You're not smart enough. You don't have enough education. You're too old. You're too young. Now's not the right time." It will sell you 1,000 reasons to stay comfortable and miserable. This voice is a liar. Its only job is to keep you small, to keep you from taking risks, to keep you from your own greatness. You have to learn to shut that voice down. You fight it with logic and action. When that voice says, "You're not smart enough," you read a book, you take a class, you prove it wrong. Let me ask you something. If you go to the gym and you only ever lift a 5-pound weight, are you ever going to get stronger? Of course not. You gotta challenge your muscles. You gotta lift the 10-pound weight, then the 20. It's the same thing with your mind. If you only ever think small thoughts, your mind gets weak and lazy. You have to give it a workout. You have to stretch it. You have to force it to think bigger than your current circumstances. Your life will only grow to the size of your thinking. If you want a bigger life, you need bigger thoughts. You gotta stretch your dreams. You're showing your mind what's possible. You're making your dream tangible, real, and believable. Another way to stretch your mind is to upgrade your environment. You need to be around people who challenge you, people who are playing the game at a higher level. Listen to how they talk. They don't talk about problems. They talk about solutions. And finally, you gotta stretch your mind with new information. Read books on subjects you know nothing about. Travel to a place you've never been. There's an old saying, and honestly, it's one of the truest things you'll ever hear. Aim for the moon. If you miss, you may land among the stars. People who think small, well, they aim for the fence. And if they fall short, they land in the mud. See the difference? Setting high goals, ridiculously high goals, is one of the most powerful things you can do. A big goal inspires you. It wakes you up in the morning. It gives you that drive, that energy, that reason to push through the tough times. When you set a huge goal, something amazing happens to your brain. Let's say your goal is to make an extra $1,000 this month. Your brain might think about overtime, but what if your goal was to make an extra $100,000 this year? Now your brain can't just think about overtime, it's forced to get creative. Think about it in your everyday life. Let's say you want to get your house a little tidier. You might aim to clean the kitchen counter. But what if you set a big goal? I want my house to be so clean and organized that it could be in a magazine. You're decluttering closets. You're organizing drawers. You're creating systems. You're thinking strategically. Even if you don't get to magazine-level perfection, your house is going to be 10 times cleaner than if you had just aimed to wipe down the counter. Everybody feels fear. Let's get that straight right now. I feel fear. The most successful people you know feel fear. Fear may sit in the back seat, but they're the ones with hands on the steering wheel. Fear is a signal, not a stop sign. Often fear is a compass. It's pointing you where you need to go. The thing you fear most can unlock your potential. Fear indicates you're about to grow. Reframe how you see fear. When your heart pounds before a big presentation, don't think, "Oh no, I'm scared." Think, "Yes, my body is getting ready." Label it excitement. Label it readiness. Turn that nervous, shaky feeling into rocket fuel. Use the fear. Don't let it use you. Take action because you're afraid, not in spite of it. Join a Toastmasters club. Volunteer a 2-minute talk. Practice in front of a mirror. Take small, manageable steps into the heart of fear. With each small action, something magical happens. Fear shrinks a little. Confidence grows a little. You're teaching yourself you can face fear and come out stronger. People treat you the way you teach them to treat you. And that lesson starts with how you carry yourself. You have to act like the person you want to become long before you ever get there. This isn't about being fake. It's about having faith. It's about showing up with an attitude of success. Think about it. Who gets the promotion? The complainer or the solution finder? First, your walk. Pick up your pace. Walk like you have somewhere important to be. Put your shoulders back. Lift your head up. Don't stare at the ground. Make eye contact. This simple change signals importance and direction. Second, your smile. A genuine smile is the most powerful tool you have. Practice it. Smile at the cashier. Smile at your coworkers. Smile at yourself. And third, the way you speak. Speak up. Don't mumble. Project your voice. Use positive, powerful language. Eliminate weak, hesitant words. Instead of, "I guess I can try," say, "I will give it my best shot." When you talk like a leader, people start to see you as one. And more importantly, you start to see yourself as one. Your actions and your words will shape your identity. Sometimes, when you think big, the goal can feel so massive that it's paralyzing. You want to write a novel, but the thought of 300 blank pages makes you want to take a nap. They have the big dream, but they don't understand the power of the small, consistent action. You don't build a mountain in one giant leap. You climb it one single step at a time. You build it by laying one single brick, perfectly, then another, and another. Each day focus on laying a few bricks as well as you can. Don't worry about the top. Worry about the brick in your hand. If you want to write a book, don't think about the book. Just write one page today. Just one. Writing one page isn't scary. Making 5 sales calls isn't overwhelming. Saving $20 isn't a huge sacrifice. By breaking your big goal down into tiny daily or weekly actions, you beat procrastination and build momentum. Small, consistent efforts start to compound, and suddenly you look up and you're halfway up the mountain. You've built half a wall. Second, it builds the habit of discipline. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a habit. By committing to a small daily action, you are training your muscle of discipline. This is the real secret sauce of all successful people. So here we are. We've talked about the power of belief, about killing excuses, and about aiming for the moon. But talking is easy. Reading is easy. The real change happens when you put this into practice. Thinking big isn't a one-time event. It's a daily habit. It's a muscle you have to work out every single day. For the next 30 days, consciously practice thinking big in every area of your life. When you wake up, ask, how can I make today truly exceptional? How can I add massive value to someone's life today? Think like the CEO, even if you're in the mailroom. When you catch yourself thinking, I can't, immediately replace it with, how can I? Make it a game. Become an observer of your own thoughts and a champion for your own potential. This is your life. You only get one shot at it. Why would you choose to play a small game? Why would you settle for the leftovers when there is a feast waiting for you? Starting today, I challenge you to take that lid off. Start thinking bigger. Start acting bolder. Start living the life you were truly meant to live.